Hi, traders. Wyckoff AM Trader here, editor of the Emini Market Timing Newsletter, the AM Turn, in your email inbox before the opening bell. Imagine how your life could change if you knew whether the high or the low of the day could be in the beginning or the end of the trading day. Here's how my subscribers to the AM Turn's trading changed. Before we get to that, here's a disclaimer. Yes, I have skin in the game. I trade my own personal account, sardine, tuna, billfish trades, or for educational purposes only. I am not a futures broker and do not manage any accounts. It is my intent to show where trades may occur. What you do is up to you. You can follow my levels ideas to profit or loss. You determine trade size, when, where, how you trade. CFD futures is not for everyone. It's a volatile, complex, and risky business. Before you invest, know how much you can afford to lose. Good morning, traders. It's 8:50 in New York City. And I got a New York State of Mind classic song. It's going to be for Thursday, April the 30th. All right, let's just jump right to it. This is early read for the private subscribers. Bruce, just to give you a heads up, I did get your email. Read it the last 5 minutes. Give me either today or tomorrow. I'll give you a very detailed email. And I noticed that you were also there in the getting started, and I agree that's very dated. I've been watching it for the last 2 days. Appreciate everyone that did attend. We changed so much; it's really in the best interest. Sorry, traders. This is
to
for
wait till we get to
WB
a good
proprietary
pause,
work
and then
only.
we'll
Drop us an
definitely update
email
that. I've been
at
saying that for the
YouTube
last couple of days,
at
but that's the next thing on my
wyckoffamtrader.com, and we'll
agenda
get you
is
on
to
the
definitely
fast
update
track to
that. Got
understand
a
what
lot of
YouTube
neat things
and
planned,
what Wyckoff is all
and
about.
we've had a lot new subscribers, so I understand what it's like to get onboarded, and we're working on that also. That's really why we started working with the YouTube channel. Like I said, I got over 300, 400 videos on Demio, but no one really wanted to go to Demio because they didn't really know what that was, and you couldn't do the back button. So I've been feverishly working to put together a presence on YouTube and pretty much dominate that space as far as the Wyckoff Wave and WB isms. And I definitely will do that because we're putting out almost 2 videos a day based upon the public perspective of the market recap and the early read. But that's neither here nor there. Let's get to here.
Yes.
YouTube. I made an unbelievable, killer, dynamic, and I think I'll just read it. It's 54 minutes of drinking from the fire hose of WB and Wyckoff, and don't click if you don't plan to finish it. As WB would say, you might want to write some of this down that you see in the video. And I'm thinking of doing a little interesting thing with that video last night. So I'm a little tired. You may hear it in my voice, but we'll go ahead and rip it out. Somewhat suspicious. YouTube, you're not going to get all these freebies.
Sorry, traders. This is for the WB proprietary work only. Just drop us an email at YouTube at wyckoffamtrader.com, and we'll get you on the fast track to understand what YouTube and what Wyckoff is all
My
about.
read is, even though we had a great day yesterday and the previous day, that it might be a little bit over for a little bit. This is the first time that the employment situation numbers have actually started becoming more biased to the bearish side. When I went to print, we were trading 29.21. There it is right there, isn't it? And that was just a few minutes ago. And I waited for the numbers to respond, and nothing really happened. But now we got a better response, and now we're looking at 29.13, 29.12. It just ticked down and possibly lower. We haven't broken that supply line, and we're not careful. We're going to get ourselves a bit oversold as we come into a major support point. So we'll break these out for you real quick. Looks like 29.20. We've already taken out. So technically, the best case there is 29.06. That gives a little bit more breathing room, but not a whole lot. So then, obviously, 29.96 and that's pretty much cut it in where we had a little support coming in. And the way you can read this is 2902. So obviously we're almost to the low of the previous day, and then 2996, and that's coming into glowbacks from that previous day. And of course, 2888, and we could definitely get down there. Obviously, if the buying pressure picks up again, and for what reason, I don't know what it would, because the news wasn't that slanted to a bullish standpoint. 2943, and that would be coming in closer to coming into where the supply line is. So the bulls would need to navigate that, negotiate quite nicely. 2951, of course. Of course, 2943 is coming in just under where we had the high of day. So not exactly what you want to see. I still think it's going to be more of a bearish selling pressure day, even though the read kept it bullish. Now, Bobby B would normally just flip the cycle, and there's a reason for that, and that's because of the odds. And for the most part, you really can't tell. Do you see where cash is coming in? And so that's why I still kept it a little bit more from a bullish buying pressure standpoint. And yeah, you couldn't really tell because unemployment situation for the past, 5 weeks, it's all been extreme scream holler on bad news. And of course, now it's not. And now, but we got all these people dying now. Well, yeah, no kidding. They've been dying and unemployed. I think unemployment might be pushing, 38 million, 42 million now. So maybe, just maybe, since the composite man in Wall Street got the market up to new time highs, comparatively speaking, climbing the wall of worry. Well, now it's time to start taking a look at the bad news for what it is, bad news. But yeah, like I said, they really can't negotiate that. What was it? February the 27th, pretty much dropped where the support initially came in. It looks like some boys want to get out at that level, but we'll leave it at that. 29.51, 65, and of course 71. All right. You can read what I can read. We'll pop it in here real quick. Guys, you got to watch that video I made last night. That was very detailed. Bottom line is, yeah, base of accumulation. Overnight glow buys came up, and then that was at 28.80 that we talked about for the last couple of days. That's really the big deal. So I'm never one to say, I think price is going to get down to this level. I don't really like doing that. I just like setting levels. Let the market decide what it wants to do. Currently trading 29.11. And like I said, that's really technically where that first preliminary support picked in, or that first buying wave picked in around February the 28th, 27th, when all looked decent, and then they ratcheted it back up to about 31.30 on March the 3rd, and then they dropped it like a bad date at the Burger King in Denver. Oh, that's got a meaning for one person I know of. All the way down to March the 23rd at 21.74. So definitely looks like they're not willing to take it up any higher, and the supply is starting to come into its perspective, and we should be pushing for that overbought line, and we're not doing that either. So once again, yeah, 28.80, that might be something you want to keep your eye on. All right, let's see here. Yeah, that's good enough with those numbers. Yes, we're going to update that. So thank you. I just like how it's framed out so well. There's no reason to take it out. But I will update that. I got some interesting things planned for that. Just give me a few days. No, that's going to take more than days. It's going to take weeks. Like I said, got a good system for the early read for the YouTube, from the private video, from the public video. That's never been done before. I love the email that we created. We're still working for that. And if you hadn't taken a look at the public early read, if you pay attention, we got the sun going down, the sun dust, and then actually it turns into night. I was really happy with how that turned out. And I'm real anal about graphics, but I'm not a graphic designer, but I really enjoyed that. That brings great satisfaction when you realize that I was making. I'm like, I can't guarantee what happens in the
Drop us
long-term
an
future, but the
email
immediate
at
future, there's a
YouTube
piece of me going to be
at
around for a while. All right.
wyckoffamtrader.com, and we'll get you on
And
the
like I said, we had a
fast track
decent
to
day.
understand
This is
what
the day we
YouTube and
like to
what
have.
Wyckoff is all about.
21 handle run. That's not bad on 3 trades. And we'll try to get the time to show you how every trade plays out, tick by tick, but don't have the time immediately, but we're looking to incorporate that. So like I said, updated that for you. This was the close. This was the close on the Dow 30. I don't even talk about that. This was the close on the Dow 30. Obviously, plus 5%, plus 3%, plus 4%, minus 3%. Not what you want to see. Minus 3% tells you what? Tells you some of the insiders might be taking little profits, maybe getting out of some, if not all of it, a little bit. Whatever. You make your decision on that. Banks were rallying, but not as much. 2%, 5% plus 5%. So anyway, last day of the cycle and a Fed day. What do you know? The high day within the last hour, just like the clock said it should be. And like I said, technically it would go ahead and reset. Now, the thing to take away is we're trading below the Yale, 29.35. And for the most part, that's like a demarcation line. And so what WB would say, the bulls wants and needs, but he actually only did that on a gap day. Would be the bulls want to get it back up to the 29.35 for the Yale. And of course, the bears would need to defend the 29.35. Well, it ain't taking too hard to defend that because bears have already gotten it down. And like I said, it's all hope and prayers. And as I was talking to one CEO, long story short, but I made a presentation to a company before they went bankrupt. And it was 8 months before they went bankrupt. And I said, gentlemen, right now we're standing at the top. And I drew an X on the floor. And I said, what you do from here out will determine a lot about how we're going to play this thing out. And when the CEO walked up to me, and of course I'm standing in the whole big conference room, and he says, now look, we're hoping and praying this will turn around. And I turned to him without hesitation. I said, sir, may I ask, are you a religious man? And he says, well, no, not really. I said, then hoping and praying is not really going to work for you now, is it? So what I'm saying is we're really moving the market up on hopes and prayers, and that's fine, but that's not solid data. Of course, I'm not all about scientific data. That's just not solid data as far as the market's concerned regarding fundamentals. Fundamentals are going to bite their tail come the next earnings release. I made a joke here. The news for the potential virus solution. Time will tell. We do not know if the market is focused on a resolution before we make America back to great. That should be Trump's newest slogan. Back to great. Can't occur. Oh, this would be funny if we both weren't living in it. Let's see. Globex have been drifting down, trading at 29.65. 29.26 handle. Right now we're at 29.08. So I'd call that a drift, wouldn't you? I'm thinking of the song Slip Sliding Away by Simon Garfunkel. Now the challenge is as we're coming into the opening, they may get a bid. And so once again, that's why we left it, or the S1H day. Either way, it could flip. That's why we're trying to nail the turn too. And that's really what we're looking for. And WB would go fishing, and might as well. We had a great week. Gave you some levels here. Will it continue today? And that's really what I was saying. The employment situation has been very bullish
WB
for no reason
work only. Just drop us an email at YouTube at wyckoffamtrader.com, and we'll get you on the fast track to understand what YouTube and what Wyckoff is all about.
Look like we're still in that process. Now, you may have noticed, I think pretty much figured out how we're going to blur this out for YouTube. So just give me some pointers. Either way, we'd probably leave the edge in because that's probably a good thing for someone to understand. Did flip this to bearish. And like I said, we had a little banner here that says the news wasn't released. That's another thing I look for. How quickly are they getting that out? And for the most part, now they're paying attention. It amazes me that now they want to pay attention to what I've been talking about since January. Drug might become the standard of care. That's the words you want to look for. Might is not is, but it implies is. Wall Street might open broadly lower. Interesting. Broadly lower. Jobless gains for the week. That's the reason. So, yeah, they did give it to me after we hit send, just a few minutes. So that's what's going on. We flipped it to the bearish standpoint. Asians were higher, of course, and the Gilead was all the giddy yesterday, and bolstered as the Federal Reserve says we'll do whatever it needs to do to make things right for you folks. But the Europeans were pretty much flat to lower, and that was what was going on with that. YouTube, you're definitely not going to get this. I pretty much figured out how to Bezier mask it out. And just at the end of the day, I'm like, I did not want to learn this. So it's like anything else. It's like any new learning curve. I'm down with it.
Sorry, traders. This is for the WB proprietary work only. Just drop us an email at youtube@wyckoffamtrader.com, and we'll get you on the fast track to understand what YouTube and what Wyckoff
crude oil is
all
starting
about.
to find a bid. That's the reason. Social distancing, jobless claims, bid your picture support. 2,900. Looks like we're going to knock on that door pretty quick. That's a bigger picture when normally I'm thinking 2880. Anywhere in there. So Bruce, that's really where we're going to get the best education is these early read videos. Trading inside 27. We've already dropped almost 20 handles since then. Still got to keep this in. It could be apropos, and I'll try to do a video on that, make that public. So think about it. I'm actually making 2 videos in one, and then we're giving you a private perspective with WB and then a public perspective with Wyckoff. 45-point range, that's definitely reason for concern on all that volume. And there really wasn't that much volume. We'll get to it, but it wasn't that much volume. Cash gave us the edge of the last hour. Normally, this day would end with the high, odds high. But like I said, I got a little concerned how we closed the previous day and over Globex put in an overnight high. WB would say, are the peons over their skis? And we're going to know after the numbers coming out. The numbers have coming out, and we seem to still be drifting down. But once again, still got to see what's going to happen when real-time cash gets on board. They're going to accept that as value and then to get a little bit more at the bottom and then take it back up. We don't know. All I can say, if we're drifting down, 29.65. Low was 29.20. Here's what concerns me. We had a lot of volume. No, that's like 200,000. Got a lot of volume, and then the range is actually extended pretty much more than what a normal would be, but still yet we've taken out all that potential range. And that's how you'd want to look at those two numbers. Not that they're always going to be exact. This gives you a rule for thinking, okay? Especially if this was like 65. That would not be good at all because you already know you had a high in from a high, new high over Globex. And this may not be right. It could be more of a bearish day. And like I said, we still need to get the cash to open before we can say these things. Right now, it's just a potential. And like I said, let's see how price trades.
Sorry, traders. This is for the WB proprietary work only. Just drop us an email at youtube@wyckoffamtrader.com, and we'll get you on the fast track to understand what YouTube and what Wyckoff is all about.
The problem is we have that potential to be just a little bit oversold when we come into the open. And like I said, that's a pretty much level where the price pulled back around, let's see, pulled back around 945-ish yesterday. It's where we're coming in at. All right, let's see here. You got to review this on the video we talked about. I will point out one thing. And like I said, it's 9:10 New York time. I will point out one thing. We did have a decent supply level, support level here. But notice that the Wyckoff wave topped out. Bit of a divergence. See, the Wyckoff wave topped out. I think that was around 1 o'clock. Okay. Got it? So the major indexes, we had supply coming in, and they could be just dropping the bid. Yeah, that could happen. We talked about that. But then when we rallied, we still rallied back to the half back to where that potential preliminary support was. Get it? Rally back, and of course now what we're looking at is a potential downtrend. Surely you can see that bigger picture, and that's what we're working off now. Well, we're now working off this now technically because we're not into the cash real-time session, but this give you an idea. Whereas the Emini, did this. It topped out here. That's not what you really want to see. Surely you see a divergence. If not, I got them. I mean, you can easily see if you put the charts back to back. I think you can do that page view perspective. I might look at doing that. That might be fun too. But of course, I get to see it when I design it. You can easily see it here. See, we have the high here. You can't turn it. But you can see the divergence. Got it? And so that smacks a little bit of the weaker boys and girls getting on board right here. And of course, the same thing. We talked about this. That's, well, technically, it would be right there. That supply line should have went higher to challenge that, and it didn't. And of course, we fell off. So definitely you want to watch that video I sent you in the mail. All right. Yeah, we're going to try to give a little more detail. That's what the initial perspective there, Bruce, for the tape reading chart was, to show you how the trades were coming in and actually show you what the volume was and the lot size and what the bigger boys were doing on this side. But like I said, that's where we're all going to give the education there. And I do appreciate you sending me the feedback email. That helps us get better. All right, we're going to wrap this up for you. Let's get back. So the bigger picture, YouTube, we're going to cut this out for you, but the bigger picture is we're going to have to wait and see how cash opens up. So it's either a S1H day or a S1L day, but we really don't know till cash opens up. But it's either way. You can't fight over it. It's a go fishing day. The clock turns aren't going to be there. It's a sink. And we're wanting to see how price trades. All right, we're looking at 9/13. It's on a Thursday, April the 30th. This is Wyckoff AM Traders signing out. And be nimble and be quick. And don't let the market make you sick.
Sorry, traders. This is for the WB proprietary work only. Just drop us an email at YouTube@WyckoffAMTrader.com, and we'll get you on the fast track to understand what YouTube and what Wyckoff is all about.